You're good.
I call this meeting to order. Confirmation agenda that the Committee of Adjustment hereby accepts the agenda for November 1st, 2021 public hearing as presented. Do I have a mover? Paul moves, seconder, Anita seconds. All in favor? Carries. Declaration of pecuniary interest. Not seeing any. Approval of meetings from previous meeting, that the Committee of Adjustment hereby adopts the minutes from the Committee of Adjustment meeting held June 7th, 2021 as presented. Do I have a mover? I have Kevin moving. Do I have a seconder? I have Chris seconding. All in favor? Carries. Statement of precedence, that any decision reached by this committee cannot be used to set precedent. Scheduled applications, file number MV05-2021, location West Part Lot 38, Concession 1, West East Wawanosh Ward, Township of North Huron, County of Huron, 39520 Blythe Road. Applicant owner is Brad Walsh. 6.1.1, planner Hannah Holman is going to come up and do a presentation.
Hi all. Can everyone hear me okay? Mm-hmm. Not sure if the mic's on. Okay, well, finally glad to be bringing a file to council, so that's great. And thanks again for having me here tonight. I'm just going to continue along with my presentation. Carson, do I just need to switch?
Yep, so if you exit out of that one, and you'll see yours open at the bottom.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. Okay, great. So as stated, the next file is MV0521. So as noted before, the subject lands are located on Blythe Road, as you will see in this image here. The subject property is Zone AG4, agricultural small holdings. The subject property contains an existing single detached dwelling and abuts an aggregate operation. There is a Hydro 1 corridor through the property, and the proposal is for an accessory structure, and that is what is subject to the minor variances. So just to show some site photos of the property, the following shows the existing dwelling as it exists today, as well as a portion of the rear yard where the accessory structure is proposed. In terms of the specific variants that are being requested, there are two variants that are being requested with respect to the proposed accessory building, which is approximately 750 square feet in size. The first variance is to reduce the rear yard setback from 1.5 meters to 0.9 meters, and then as a result of that, to reduce the allowed eaves encroachment from the required 0.75 meters to 0.5 meters. So the following shows the site sketch of the property. I can appreciate it's not the easiest image to read as it was hand drawn, but it does show the approximate location of the accessory structure relative to the existing dwelling. So just located in that rear yard there, and it's just the rear yard that's requesting a reduced setback. So the interior side yard will be maintained. The following shows the elevations of the accessory structure. So the doors are facing south, so they are not facing the yard that is seeking the variance. The application was considered against the 4 tests of the minor variance. So these tests being whether it is minor in nature, whether it is desirable and appropriate development, and then if it meets the intent of the official plan and the zoning bylaw. The application was considered against all 4 of these tests, and it was deemed to meet all 4 of these tests. It is not anticipated that there would be any adverse impacts on the neighboring property, and access to the building for purposes of maintenance would be able to be maintained. In terms of comments, township staff did provide comments indicating no concerns, and as of current, there were no written comments received from members of the public. In terms of recommendation, it is recommended that the minor variance be approved subject to the following standard conditions. The first one being that the structure that ultimately ends up being built matches the footprint contained on the site sketch. that the structure resembles the elevation drawings that accompany the application, and then lastly, that the application is valid for a period of 18 months from the date of the decision. So I'm happy to answer any questions that the committee may have.
Thank you very much, Hannah. Now we're going to go to, I don't believe now is time for questions.
6.1.2, you're at?
Yep, that's what I thought. Opportunity for comments, the application by, or for the application by applicant and/or agent. Not hearing or seeing anyone. 6.1.3, opportunity to comment by others in attendance. Not seeing too many. 6.1.4, opportunity for questions, comments by the Committee of Adjustment members. Go ahead, Kevin.
Thank you. Through you, Reeve. Has the applicant given any indication whether the this property or the structure being built is going to be used for residential, or is going to have like water and septic in it?
Through your worship, so the applicant has indicated that the purpose would be storage for their residential use, so things like a lawn tractor, for example, and there is no plumbing proposed in the structure.
Thank you.
Not seeing any further questions. 6.1.5, summary comments and recommendations from the Huron County Planner and Development Department. Hannah?
Yes, so Carson may need to help me a bit. At this point, do you make a recommendation in terms of comments, or does that follow the first?
Yeah, so basically in this section, for summary, so no public comments were received and no agency objections were received. So the planner is recommending approval of the application. So then you're good to go to 7.
Number 7, decision of the Committee of Adjustment and the effects and comments received for the committee's decision. That the Committee of the Adjustment hereby approves minor variance application MV05-2021 as it applies to West Part Lot 38, Concession 1 West East Wabanash Ward, Township of North Huron, County of Huron, 39520 Blythe Road, applicant owner Brad Walsh, with conditions set out in the report presented by Hannah Hallman, planner, at the November 1st, 2021 Committee of Adjustment hearing. Do I have a mover? I have Rick moving. I have Anita seconding. All in favor? Carries. And the further one, motion number 2, could you give us a recommendation, Hannah, from the chart, please?
Yes, so I would recommend that the committee select option A2, that no public comments were received on this application, so there was no effect on the decision, and that the committee select option B3, that agency comments were received in support of the application, the effect of which resulted in a decision to approve.
Thank you very kindly. Kevin, can you flip? That's better. Minor variance procedure
So
following.
you need a mover.
Oh, sorry, I forgot the mover second. Do I have a mover? I have Paul moving, I have Chris seconding, all in favor? Carries. Reminder of appeal period. Minor variance procedures following public meeting. The Secretary Treasurer sends within 10 days a certified copy of the decision indicating the last day of appealing to the Ontario Land Tribunal Board, OLT2. The applicant, the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, if requested, each person who appeared in person or by consult at the hearing and who filed with the Secretary Treasurer a written request for notice of the decision. If no appeals lodged after the 20-day objection period has expired and no appeal has been lodged, the decision of the Committee of Adjustment is final and binding. The Secretary Treasurer shall notify the applicant. If a notice of appeal is lodged, if within 20 days of the Committee of Adjustment making decision, an appeal is lodged with the Secretary Treasurer outlining the reason for such an appeal, and said appeal is accompanied by a required fee of $400, the Committee of Adjustment no longer retains jurisdiction over application. If a proper appeal is lodged, the Secretary Treasurer is required to provide proper notice to the Ontario Land Tribunal Board, 0LT. Adjournment. There being no further business before the Committee of Adjustment, the public hearing is now by adjourned at
5:40.
5:40. Do I have a mover? I have Anita moving, Rick seconding. All in favor? Carries. Thank you.